After finishing our engine tuning work, we turned our attention to the noisy exhaust system. Crawling underneath the car with the engine running, we discovered major exhaust leaks coming from the downpipe. The flex joints were falling apart and corrosion was clearly visible. The center resonator pipe and mufflers were okay. We decided to replace the downpipe with an aftermarket stainless steel pipe advertised by several vendors on eBay. The average price was around $150, so we took a shot at one of these pipes. As you can see, this pipe looked very nice and came with new replacement gaskets. But there were problems. The flange holes were too small, and more importantly, it didn't have an O2 sensor bung. But not a problem. We had a hole drilled and a bung installed by a local muffler shop. Here's the bung that was welded onto the downpipe by a local muffler shop. We coated the weld with heat-resistant silver paint. The old downpipe removal was pretty easy. We heated each exhaust manifold nut before attempting to remove it. They tend to get hard and brittle over time, and applying heat makes the removal much easier. Without applying heat, you run the risk of either shearing the threads of the stud or nut. We like to get the nuts red hot before attempting to loosen them. The hotter the nut, the easier it comes off. We applied approximately 2 minutes worth of heating on the nut to get it red hot. Once it gets this hot, the nut spins off like it's just hand tight. Due to the age and mileage of the car, we decided to replace the O2 sensor with a new one. The sensor's electrical connector is located in front of the center console by the driver's side footwell. The electrical plug and wire can be pulled out through a hole in the chassis held by a round plastic clip. With the O2 harness detached, the 2 nuts and bolts holding the downpipe to the center pipe can be removed. As you can see, the pipe was so bad that it fell apart during the removal. The rubber pipe hanger assembly was unbolted from the chassis instead of prying off the rubber hanger off the hanger rod. Here's what the old downpipe looked like. Now we transfer the pipe hanger assembly onto the new downpipe. We made an initial attempt to fit the pipe's exhaust manifold flanges to the manifold stud. They wouldn't line up, so we made the holes larger using a step drill bit. We then removed the old flange gaskets on the exhaust manifold. Before installing the new gaskets onto the exhaust manifold, I coated the manifold studs with anti-seize and bolted the pipe hanger onto the chassis. With the hanger firmly in place, we installed the manifold gaskets and lined up both flanges with the manifold studs. Any visible gaps in the flange holes were covered with washers to prevent exhaust leakage. We then bolted the downpipe to the center pipe, installing a new gasket between the flanges. The final step was installing the new O2 sensor. The sensor's thread was coated with anti-seize. After starting the car, we checked for leaks and found leakage between the downpipe and center pipe flanges. The leak was resolved by inserting 3 makeshift gaskets between the flanges. The Felpro gasket material is for high heat applications, specifically for making custom exhaust gaskets. The 3 gaskets were coated with copper spray gasket high temperature sealant and pressed together. After installing the new gaskets and starting the car, no more exhaust leaks. The car ran noticeably quieter.